Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I manage to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Well, what I'm going to talk to you about today is something that's spurred because of some stuff that's been going on lately. For those of you that don't know, this is hurricane season, and this is hurricane season in Florida and the eastern United States. Well, a hurricane just passed. A hurricane just passed our North Florida. It didn't affect us, but it reminded me of some stuff. I'm a disabled male with cerebral palsy, for those of you that don't know, that have not followed me. So, what I'm talking about today is the difference between now, as an adult, how I know what I know about the hurricanes, etc. I know that. So, and what I used to feel when I was a child. When I was a child, I used to feel very anxious, get very frustrated because I didn't know what was going on. I was scared and all that stuff. I was scared. I was all that. So, I was scared. So, I'd be like, what's going on? One time as a child, I thought the hurricane was fun. But no, it's not fun because I went through it as an older adult, younger adult. I was like 18, just graduated high school, and we had Hurricane Andrew in 1992. That was terrible, and it wasn't that bad for us here. It was just trees, limbs, and power out for 14 days and stuff. But man, I don't want something to be worse. And it spurred me because I wanted to talk to you about how I feel about them and what I do to avoid them. I help my family by watching the news and doing the things that I can do, like making sure things are charged and reminding them of this, that, and the other thing that, that they need, that we need as people to live and survive. So let me say, it's something, but as a child, I wouldn't know what to do. I would be scared, because it's a scary situation when you're sitting here waiting for this thing in anticipation. And at least nowadays here we have hurricane windows. We don't need to put shutters up except for when on one glass door that is not a hurricane door, but the rest of the main windows of the house are all storm windows. They call them storm windows. So here we are. I'm happy that we have those things because I've never done it because physically I can't handle it, but I know it's difficult. I've seen my dad do it. He's older, and I don't think he can obviously handle this stuff anymore. It's something that we need to think about. It costs money, but we did it. It cost some money, but we did it. No problem. We had done it. So, let me say this. As a disabled person, there's not much you can do to prepare, but there is things you can do to help in preparation for that storm. It's something that, it's, as I also, another thing that helped me is I do volunteer work, and I know how things work in the county and on the local level here, so that we are prepared. And I know when something bad is coming because I know how to interpret such. So it is one of those things where I'm like, I can't physically do much, but I can do things as I as I learned, and I learned how to handle stress, because those things can be very, very stressful. They can be very stressful. Could you imagine having no power for 14 days? That's annoying, but we live with it. It's frustrating, it is, but what can we do? That's part of living in Florida, part of it. So here we go. So it's like that, but you have to do things. Like, for example, make sure that you have your kids. I luckily don't need any oxygen. I'm not electrically dependent. That I know for a fact. That if you are electrically dependent, you can be put on a list where they know that, where the power companies and counties know that, and they can help you. And they can bring your power up faster, or if you need help in transportation or what have you. If you're an STS member, which I am, but I've never had to use it in this manner, they can pick you up and take you to a shelter. I don't know how they bring you back, but I don't know if they can bring you back, but I know that they can pick you up and take you to a shelter when it's safe, and keep you and stay in a special needs shelter if needed, with nurses, etc. But those things are, so it's it's crazy, but we do it. We do it. We live in Florida. We do it. So it's one of those things where there's always going to be natural disasters. Always there's going to be that. I gotta say, we have to have 48 hours of water, food, so that we can survive without power. And before the local Red Cross and local NGOs come in and help us out, I've been on the side of that. I've helped out an NGO during a hurricane, during what we call a DR. That is when we provide service. I help a crew serve food for 15 hours on an IRV. An IRV is a vehicle that serves, like an ambulance type vehicle. It's outfitted for food. It's got a window. It's got a service window, like a service window where you hand out food out that window and stuff. So there we are. I just wanted to talk to you about the things, how I deal with them now, how I deal with hurricanes now, and how I dealt with them as a kid. Well, let me go ahead and do this for you, okay? In closing, let me say thank you for listening to this episode of The Disabled Life. You can follow me on the following platforms. You can follow me at Good Pods. You can leave comments, messages there. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Disabled Guy. And you can also listen to me on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and many others. Once again, thank you for listening, and I'll also give you my email. My email is Kilo Echo 4 Kilo Echo Yankee, or KE4KEY@gmail.com. Once again, thank you, and thank you for your support, and I'll see you next week. And additionally, you can also leave ratings, and I believe comments, and follow at Spotify. I forgot to put that in my outro there, but yes, you can also do that on